That's okay, I'll throw myself under the bus.
When y'all get them, read them, is that fair enough? Your order of the month is next month, or next week. Do your best. The rain probably helped a lot of them.
Are we doing the blaming? When is that? Have we already done that?
No,
That should be coming up.
I couldn't remember what month we do that in.
it was,
It's in Jan.
hang on.
Which one?
Did we do it?
The blue?
Did we do the
No,
balloon?
I
We did it already. I'm so behind.
You're supposed to be
I
like,
meant to bring that after that.
because everything's already bloomed and we do
I
it.
know, that's what, but I didn't remember doing
That was a
it.
discussion before, but I don't think that's how y'all did it.
I don't think we did it that
No.
way this year, though. That's why I was asking.
Nope.
We didn't, did we?
I
Okay,
think-
so I'm not losing my mind.
No.
I thought I was losing my mind.
No.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
I was like, am I having a lot of that?
standard order of the month. Frank, have you got your list in front of you?
What?
Your list that you gave us, your order of the month?
I'll have to print it for you. I don't
I
have
have it home, I meant to bring it, I forgot to.
I'll print it out.
Finance,
Finance, I'm gonna plead the same. We owe you that. We'll get it out to the emails to you. We do have tomorrow the kickoff meeting with, it's Monday, Wednesday, with BSNA, the new software vendor. We'll have the kickoff meeting Wednesday through Zoom, so it's starting.
good. That's been waiting all the time too, what is it, 9 months on there? Oh, wow. All right, the GMA voting delegation. I think we've already decided, Tony, one of them, I attended the GMA, thinking about voting delegate.
I'll vote.
Since Frank can't vote, so I told him to go, and so Tony's gonna be our voting delegate.
And everybody has the red line of what the proposed changes are.
Yeah. Okay. Yay, baby. Y'all wanna
Do we
read
need to make a motion on that, or will we do that next Monday?
it?
I guess.
Yeah.
Read through it and see, let Tony know if you don't like something, and say you vote against it or whatever. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
I think that's what we need to do. There's a quick request to discuss the name of the depot for David Smith and Dave Miller.
Dave Millingham's still on Hemlock Street, I hope, unless she's kicked me out. To me, it's a no-brainer. We named the depot after Debbie. I mean, Debbie was Lula.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Certainly, sir.
Your request to do this was dated March 23rd. Was that your, instead of May 23rd, it was dated March 23rd?
We would have been Macy's still alive in March.
That's what one,
No,
I
the
saw.
year was a typo. My apologies.
Handwritten, I said,
I'm
wait a
not
minute.
trying to use
That's all right.
typo.
I just want to make sure. that-
Okay. Yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer. Debbie was Lula. I mean, anybody in this room's got a story about Debbie. I mean, November, my wife retired, so I rented the depot for a surprise party, sorry. Debbie and Marilyn just stepped up, didn't even ask, what do you want us to do? Debbie's always at the front. I mean, that's why she was the, what do you call it, not the maid of honor, in the front car at the
Grand Marshal.
Grand Marshal, I apologize. And I don't think anybody in Lula would object to her name being over that end by the stage in memory of or Debbie Smith Depot.
We can't do it at the stage, that's a J. Morse.
No, I mean, on the building itself, on the depot itself, you got that huge expanse. And if it's a question of money for all the lettering and all that, we'll just have a collection around town and I'm sure we'll make more than enough. That's my opinion anyway. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you.
I'd like to see a plaque on the inside for Lamb Griffin and Mr. Mordecai. As many years they served.
Totally agree.
That's a great idea.
Totally agree.
Anybody got any discussion on this? Look at it and see.
I would totally back the Debbie Smith and Mordecai and Lana.
I'm just gonna say this, and this may not be very popular. I am all for doing the plaque for Debbie. I am all for doing the plaque for Mordecai and for Lamb. I'm a little concerned that we go and start renaming our buildings after just an individual, even though she did commit so much to us.
Who did not live in the city, by the way?
I'm just saying, I am a little concerned if we just start renaming buildings after people.
She lived in Lula, she just didn't live
She,
inside the actual
she could vote,
city
she could
limits.
vote for us. She could
What
not
about
vote for
the
us.
post office?
Well, that's semantics.
Yeah.
She
Well, that-
still
that's
did
not-
everything for the people of Lula.
I don't know how post offices get named. Does anybody?
Private first class American.
The post office being renamed, I don't know how that process
Go to
works.
the postal bureau, postal bureau somewhere, I'm not sure.
I'm concerned about renaming the building after one individual and then, gosh forbid, somebody else passes away, then we've gotta rename another building, and then we've renamed every building in town. I agree with the plaques, and the plaques can move from building to building if we need to. That's my concern.
I'll speak up. I think we should probably look at the opportunities for proclamations, where we can give our statements and proclamations and plaques. So I think there's plenty of opportunity for us to honor those that need to be honored, and we'll have to discuss and look into those opportunities, see which one is more fitting for us. But thank you.
But, okay, it's possible now, IGA agreements. It's, voted about.
No vote tonight, but this will require a vote at your meeting next week. This is the final version, unless there's something you want to change last minute in allocations for the city of Lul.
So basically what this is it's supposed to push local option sales tax to fund special projects through the county. It's the county agreement, but cities get a proportion of the money collected. So all your sales tax, because most of it goes to them, we get some of it back to you, that's how we pay our bills. Right now, it's maybe, what, 85%? So we're in.
This is for SPOS, not
Oh,
loss.
I'm sorry.
This is the.
I did it again, didn't I? I did it again.
But the
It's a
total,
special project, yeah.
yeah, the total collections that the county's projecting is 440 million. Our portion of that, after the tier 1 and tier 2 projects, is just over $3.3 million over 6 years.
So it's gonna be on the ballot in November. We gotta decide if we agree with the way they wanna give us the money. And we'll vote on that next week. And just keep going. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the proposed memorandum of understanding.
You got one of these? Take one and pass it down.
What I wanted to say is, in the discussions that we had about SPOS 9 and what our percentages are, myself, Denise, and some of you guys also in the background have been picking on the county. The more the money needs to come to the towns. We had a discussion with Zach Probst, the county manager, and the recreation department head. They're wanting to spend, not because of the good graces of their good graces, but because they need to. just short of $1 million of their recreation funds in a phase one for working on Raffy Banks Park. So $892,500 of that would be to redo the ball fields and keep them in play. And then another $96,500 for equipment to manage it. Denise, myself, Hoyt, or somebody else there. Maybe it was just three of us. But we had a long discussion, basically because all of you know we've been talking about what we could do with Raffy Banks to change it. And the county has a need for a minimum of 12 additional ball fields. They would like to pick up the 2 here. Our position was 1. If they did and redid that, they would have to take over management of the park day to day and scheduling play and field time on it. We didn't feel we were in a position that we could manage that. 2, as shown by the equipment, they were responsible for maintaining the fields. So what we were proposing is our $750,000 that we said we would put towards recreation in this SPLOST 9, plus their just short of $1 million for phase 1, will give us some opportunities to plan and design a reuse of the entire 6-acre site to address, we'll have to sit down, but to address items that you want to see as a council, and that would take not a work session, but a weekend session where we're prioritizing what's important to us. So, but we just wanted, so what we agreed to was we would do an MOU that says we'll consider it. If SPLOST passed, we'll go back and do a specific intergovernmental agreement. Now, what's missing in this memorandum, and I mentioned it to Denise, is there to the right-hand side of the handout you got, there was an additional $1.2 million that they discussed spending as a future developments, doing everything to the left first and then coming back and adding more stuff in the future. So I wanted that added to the MOU that's in front of you. So for another $1.2 million that I think would be well spent in our parks using the county side of the SPLOST funds.
So just so I understand, so instead of us doing the complete revamp that we've talked about, now we're talking about leaving them as baseball fields and the county becoming responsible for
just for the 2
planning?
fields. Just for the 2 fields. The upper field. One of the discussions we had when it was originally designed, it was oversized so it could be a multi-use field, so it would shrink down to give us additional. But the layout, we would work with our engineers to come up with a draft plan for you guys to look at, to try to address your interest, and how does it play together. And so the county's proposing actual construction money. Our funds would have to go into design to making sure it meets what our needs are.
So
I think what you're asking,
instead of the revamp so that we can have it as like more of a centralized location, now we're talking about just completely revamping it as new baseball fields,
No.
but still be able to use it for the activities that
yes,
we're
yes.
looking forward to.
So what I told them, I said, it's key to us because we were looking at revamping it. I said, we hold our fall festival out there. It's worked great. That is something that we want to continue to implement. So we need to work the ball fields around where the city can continue to use it as we're using it. That it needs to be multifaceted. One thing that we brought up was the pavilion, having a pavilion, amphitheater type pavilion for additional, just things that we've already talked about that we wanted. I told them we wanted to continue to implement that. If we could work the ball fields where we can still get what we want and what they need so that we can use their funds to help us get what we need.
But yes, continue the trail, a trail through there so we can not get in the mud with the bigger vehicles, as far as planning a trail that we can line vendors up to include our snow cone folks and ice cream folks, so that they're able to drive on the path to get to the their marked locations. We talked about keeping a basketball field. We've talked about looking at
Pickleball.
pickleball as an alternative, but like I said, this is just a starting point that says, yes, we'll continue talking, but in the meantime, we need to have a weekend session to hash out what our priorities are, so we can give our engineer directions to make sure, give us a rough sketch to show that it can work for us.
Okay. It would be, so, and I brought this up, I was like, so y'all aren't designing this on your own, it'll be a collaboration design where we sit down with y'all and we agree on the design, and they said absolutely. So the council will be fully involved in the whole design process of the acreage.
Okay.
I'm
'Cause I'm
sure
s-
to ask that, yes, because you know, I'm a big, y'all all know that I have been a big fighter on this, and then they come with this, and I'm like, okay, but you've gotta make our stuff work if we do this.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, y'all use it for revival, we use it for the fall festival, we
So
use it for
that's-
the car show.
And I brought all them points up, I was like, we've gotta be able to do what we do. I was like, you can't take away from the community just because you need these ball fields. Pretty much what I said.
Well, and,
Frank knows, I was pushing them, I pushed hard, so,
okay.
yeah,
This was.
but we need their money.
I mean, I don't disagree, we need their money,
We need
but
their
let's
money.
make sure we still get what we need.
No,
Yes,
and that's what the
exactly.
intent was. This is just, the park is still ours. Everything has to work like we said, but the ball field management and maintenance of the two ball fields would transfer to them. As far as operating it and scheduling teams and scheduling events would be on their dime. I know it takes some trust.
It does.
No, I'm just, that's more people I've gotta add into the list. That's all.
It will
Well-
be,
Cause we're looking at using both ball fields this year for the fall festival, just so
they
y'all
will
know.
be practice fields, they're not gonna be used for games this, right now. Now, maybe in the future they'll use them for games, but as of right now, they're just looking at them for practice fields. They said they need additional practice fields, that they have enough people signed up in the area that they could have a team solely of nothing but Lula players. And the Lula players are having to drive 30 minutes or better to practice. And this would give them a closer area for practicing, not for games, but for actual practicing, nightly practicing. Instead of having to drive forever, the practice be at 8 o'clock and then they don't get home till after 9 o'clock and then expected to go to school the next morning. So it is to help our kids, because they're gonna try to schedule our Lula kids' practices here to keep them. So, I mean, it's a win-win. It'll be revamped and we can get what we need also out of it.
This gives us the time to have our visioning sessions, sitting down with getting the concept plan down on paper, showing that it can work. And if the SPLOST passes, then we go into a more formal agreement, intergovernmental agreement. But this is holding and trying to commit them to spend out of their recreation side some money here that hasn't been spent here in the past.
Right. And I've pushed hard for them to spend money here, y'all. So please, I'm begging you to vote for this. Because I've been pushing their buttons pretty hard on this, that they need to spend money over here because they leave us out. And so I've drilled them in and they're putting feet on the ground here locally. So, and this is needed. We need this. That's my soapbox, sorry.
So no vote tonight, it'll be on the agenda Monday night. If you guys have questions, either call me or call Denise and we'll try to answer them as we can.
Okay, utility rates.
That'll be on for public hearing next week, and you should have gotten the rates, and I delivered tonight to y'all a draft of the ordinance that would merely incorporate the rates that Frank recently sent y'all via email.
And
How many
that's
public hearings do we have to have? Just one?
I'm sorry,
just one.
one public, yes, be next week.
Or vote same thing?
Yes.
Okay, just checking, make sure.
You're eligible to go, it'd be before you, that'd be y'all's call.
And these are the same rates we talked about in the utilities.
It is, yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're just finishing our agenda. Yeah. Okay, it's time now for citizen comments. Well, thank all y'all for staying around for this long meeting. If I got anything to say, I'll come over here and tell us what you think. Come on.
Glad you're bringing up baseball fields and stuff about time. So maybe we all can get them things going as we bring in the people. There's one important thing that I forgot to bring up that we all looked over in the Moss Farms project. Just in case, you remember the concrete truck that had a wreck when it was coming down? Just imagine, hopefully it don't happen. If we have another wreck there, we have a wreck out there with the trucks on 365, 985, whatever you want to call it, and they can't get out. Can they use the 2 inches for supposed to be for public safety and stuff like that? Can it come out? So there's something to think about, because
They are designed that we Public Works, Community Services.
Yeah,
would
open
have
up.
the key to open it up.
cause just in case of an emergency, that would be good to have.
It's designed to be closed, but in emergencies, we can unlock it.
Well, that would be good, cause I got thinking about that. Thanks.
Anybody else?
So with the Bob Works, where was it? I kind of missed a bit of it. I used the restroom. Where was it that you were speaking to people about the Hall County? I guess is what who was going to be taking over the management of it? Is what you're saying?
Hall County Park and Rec.
Gotcha. And so we basically just have to go through them to request use of it from now on.
Oh, not yet.
Not
This-
yet.
But if
this
it were to
is not
happen, I'm saying.
definite. If it were to happen,
Yeah.
to use the ball field
Yeah.
itself, yes, you would have to schedule that through Hall County
Gotcha.
Park and Rec.
Okay. Is there a website or anything like that? I'm just curious.
You won't have to have the vote in November,
Oh,
the
gotcha.
tournament back and all this.
You're looking at years down the road.
Yeah, I was just curious,
Yeah.
just because.
But yeah, they have a website, Hall County Park and Rec has a website, and it would have all their information there on who to contact.
So kind of like the East Hall Community Center, something like that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Exactly like that.
Well, they seem pretty willing to let it be used for whoever's purposes. So hopefully it'll work out.
But right now, it's still here.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
right now.
Thank you.
It's me again. Okay, to my park, the baseball field. Back in the day, when you were growing up, my boys were growing up, they practiced and played baseball down there. So now you use it, you use it for other things too, so they're not gonna be playing baseball down there anymore.
Haven't in years.
I know, I'm saying when my boys were growing up, my oldest son be 62 coming up, they played baseball down there. That's what they use the baseball field for.
Yes, they haven't been used in years for that. That's what Hall County's wanting to do. They're wanting to sink money into it and make the ball fields where they're nice and can be used again. It
It's
won't
one-
be laid out like it is now, though.
I just wanted to know because look at me, they playing baseball down there is gone. No more practicing and none of it's down there anymore.
No,
And I have grandkids coming up great.
No. We're trying to make it nice for them.
Amy Cornett. I don't want to stir anything up, but I missed a whole lot the first 30 minutes and just caught the tail end. Is it within the council's power to be able to have a company close their or make their business hours reasonable if it's a matter of public security and safety? Or,
Yes, there are certain ordinances in effect that council would just have to review what their options are, which was discussed, or whether council would deem it appropriate to adopt another ordinance that had more specificity.
okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody else? Okay, council comments. Julie, I just started with that.
Thank you.
You made it all the way, we're so proud.
Look, Maeve made it through without needing me yet. I just wanted to start with, we did lose Miss Debbie last month. Lula Ladies is doing a community dinner and lunch too.
We're gonna open it for lunch for people that, want to, they've got two opportunities, lunch and dinner.
So they're gonna do that on the 25th, and I wanted to make sure that the community was aware of that so they can come and remember Miss Debbie. Also, thank you to the city for letting us, the Historical Society, use the car show, or the baseball field for the car show. It did really well. It was actually nice to see a lot of our community members show up because they are concerned about safety here in Lula. It is something we have been discussing behind the scenes, we've discussed with each other. We are definitely discussing with Hall County. Something needs to be done, and it's just a matter of finding the right solution to fix the whole problem, not just a segment of a problem. And we don't want to blame any one individual. We've just got to work within a system to get you the help you need. So thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank everyone for coming tonight, and I'd agree with you, yeah. We just need to work on the problem. Thank everybody for coming out, and I think we all saw that, we have a lot of people who feel very passionate about our community, which is a good thing. And as Dave said, let's all work together, and I think we can find a solution that we can all live with. Thanks.
I'll echo what they said, but I'm gonna add that this isn't something that we've just started working on as of the past few weeks. This is something that we've been discussing and trying to find a solution for a while now, and it's not an easy thing to find a solution for. It's not something that we've just started on. I know that it's dear to your hearts at this moment, and that there's a lot of emotions going on right now with the current situation, but it is an ongoing problem that we were already aware of, and we've been working behind the scenes and been talking for a while and trying to figure out a solution. And there's not an easy solution. There's not a one thing fixes everything solution in this, and it's gonna, and we're not the law up here. So a lot of the issue is law enforcement issue, and we can't control law enforcement. We can nudge and we can do our best to get them to help out, but we rely on Hall County for that. So there's things that's beyond our control and what we can do. So with that being said, I guess thank y'all for coming out and vote for this spot so we can get this park up and good and in good shape for the community, because I'm very passionate about this. And Frank probably he's probably sitting over there going, shh. Unless he needs somebody to be very vocal, and he'll say, I need you to come with me. So, but yeah, I have been very vocal about getting money into our area, and so voting is essential for this. If we work hard to get it in there, you gotta vote to make it happen too.
I'll second that. Denise has really stepped up. She was down at Hall County meeting with several other cities, and there was only a handful that stood up and said things to the county's proposal, but she certainly did push back on them, raise the issue, and the way that she put it, they really couldn't tap dance around that. They had to address it, so I'm not surprised that they did come up here. One of the things I'll say is, as you can see, tonight we are a city that's got growing pains. We are growing. We knew this was coming. And we are addressing, we're having to address the problems that get brought with that growth. And I want to say thank you to everyone that showed up tonight, because I will say it was incredible to hear the different sides of the stories of things that, how to address these problems and what the problems were. And so I want to say thank you to those that brought it. We're certainly going to take that into consideration this week as we begin to discuss and then make our decisions next week in our voting meeting. I will say, I want to say Debbie Smith, I want to say she, at one point in time, did tell me that she grew up in a house on Cobb and Wall Street next to the depot, that she was in that house for quite some time with her parents and when she was a child. So I want to say she did live in Lula. I don't know how many places she lived in Lula, but that story I do remember. I won't keep us here any later tonight. I just want to say thank you to everyone that came out tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, upcoming meetings, we got a council meeting next Monday night. Development Authority is the 24th. The Little Ladies are the 25th at noon and 6:30. You had something to say about the meeting? Go ahead.
Yes, okay, Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to add to what Juliet said, is that what we did is we chose an opportunity that's our regular Little Ladies meetings for lunch and dinner, but we want to open it up to the little community.
It's supposed to just ladies.
And right,
Community comes in.
yes, at lunch or dinner, and it'll be just like we had. I think it was wonderful when we came together and did those community meals together. So you just bring a potluck, you bring a dish and to share. But you can be there at lunch, you can be there at dinner. We will have all sorts of pictures of Debbie and a beautiful Debbie banner that was created in her memory. And it's a time that you can share any story or funny story or how you met Debbie, or it'll be a very sweet time for Debbie's memory. So please help us. We will put flyers out, we will make posts, but please help us spread the word on that everyone is welcome to come. Just bring your little casserole with you.
Also, Historical Society of Little Belton meets Monday the 30th
Yes.
at 7 o'clock at the depot. I want to thank everybody for coming. It was an interesting meeting, and we're out seriously trying to solve these problems. They're not easy. But we are still looking at all the answers, trying to find the answer. We don't know all the possibilities, but more than one, I'm sure, and we're going to try to find the right one. But just bear with us, and I learned there was no adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Tony, second by Juliet to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Everyone out of here. We're adjourned.